And one. Hey guys, it's Caden. Welcome to another episode of Get Prepped Podcast, where we talk with voice actors, nonprofit leaders, and business owners that are going to be in the new game. Get Prepped. Today we have an amazing individual. You might know them from games such as Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Cyberpunk 2077, and she is a fierce advocate for her more female representation in the voice acting community. She is Leonie Schliesing. Thanks for coming on, Leonie.
Thanks for having me. Hi.
My first question for you is, how did you get into the voice acting field?
I sort of landed in it a little bit by accident. I come from a stage and screen acting background. I trained in musical theatre. I was a singer and an actor and worked on stage and screen. And then my acting agent at the time, that was about maybe 10 years ago, started getting me voice acting jobs because I speak a few languages. I'm originally from Germany. I've lived in France, so I speak German, French, and English fluently. And I was starting to book voice work because of that. And I started to think that I actually really enjoyed it and that I clearly maybe had a talent for it because I kept booking the jobs. And so it kind of was a little bit of an accident that I landed in it, but then I fell in love and now it's what I do.
That's definitely an amazing way to get into voice acting. A lot of voice actors I talk to on here have gone into voice acting through on stage and screen acting. My next question for you is, what was your favorite role to take on in your voice acting career?
Oh, God, that's always such a difficult question because I've done so many different things and so many have been so amazing in different ways. Some because they were in a high profile production. So that's really great. Or others because they were really challenging. But I really still kind of have to say that it's Aurore Cassel in Cyberpunk, just because, well, firstly, because it's an incredible franchise to be a part of, but also because it was a really, really fun and challenging part to play, because without wanting to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't played it, but basically the character has a few different facets to her, and I had to find different versions of playing her, basically, and that was really a lot of fun to discover that with the director in the recording sessions.
I absolutely agree. Being involved in the creative process of the character and the production is always a good one. I do a lot of different interviews, not just for this platform, but for a platform called Autism Digest. And one of my favorite things is being involved in the creative process through booking the guest, coming up with a question. So I definitely feel that. My next question for you is, what was a challenging or funny moment that you've had in the recording booth that you want to share with us?
Oh, that's a really good question. Challenging moments, there's been a lot. Sometimes it can be difficult to sort of, find the right language between the creative team and the actor, and sometimes you can't quite get what they want, and then it can get sometimes a little bit frustrating. But I think funny moments are probably the funner ones to talk about. There was a commercial that I did a couple of years ago where I was dubbing an on-screen character who was kissing another character. And so I had to do some kissing sounds on camera, on microphone. And it became more and more intense. Basically, the director just kind of kept saying, oh, can it go a bit further, basically, wanting it to sound a little bit sexier. And I was on camera in my booth and I was feeling like, oh my God, what am I doing here? I'm literally kissing my microphone at this point. And it was really funny. And the director gladly turned on his camera as well so that I wouldn't feel quite so exposed. And he said, look, we're all here together, we're all making something together, let's all be in it together. So that was a fun little moment, and my booth got a little bit sweaty.
That definitely sounds like a fun moment. The next question for you is, what's something you've learned over the course of your voice acting career that you wish you knew when you first started?
Oh God, so much. When I first started out, I was such a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed noob. I didn't know what I was doing at all. It was really just the kind of the stereotype of, oh, I'm just saying the words on the page, right? And it took a while to understand that voice acting is just the same as screen acting, stage acting, if not more intense, because you're having to imagine everything, right? You're sitting in a little box. You don't have props and other actors and costumes to play with. So you have to be so imaginative and really create these worlds in front of your inner eye and kind of experience those emotions despite sitting in a little gray box. And that was really a huge learning curve for me. And since I've started coaching and teaching myself and coaching workshops, I feel like I've become even better at it by sort of teaching it to other people. I've internalized it more myself. And that's like the biggest misconception I think that some people have about voice acting. Oh, you just say words into a microphone. It's like, you know, you have to create whole emotional worlds and whole characters behind the microphone.
Exactly. I really like that answer. With anything, really, you have to create your own take on it. So that's a really good answer. My next question for you is, you're deeply involved in advocating for female representation in the voice acting field. Do you mind telling us a little bit about what makes you so passionate about it?
Yeah, so I'm part of a campaign that's called Building Doors, which was founded by a woman called Christy Haast in the United States. And she basically saw that specifically in certain areas of the voice world, the female representation was very low. We're talking, you know, advertising for sports brands, TV promos, alcohol brands, automotive brands, all that kind of thing. There's a very, very high male percentage in the advertising world. And so she created this campaign, Building Doors, where she reached out to female voice actors that she knew to sort of get on board and take adverts that were originally and promos that were originally voiced by men and revoice them in a female voice and show the world that it works and it sounds just as good. And then she also actively reached out to companies and producers and asking them to pledge that whenever they were casting for any of these things, they would consider an equal gender split and not just, you know, kind of have a blinkered view of saying we want a man for this. And she's really making some waves with this campaign, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. And that's how I got involved with Get Prepped, because Christy posted about it on, I think it was LinkedIn, and the creator of Get Prepped, SC, got in touch and reached out to Christy and said, I would love to, be put in touch with more amazing female voice actors. And then Christy put us in touch, and so that's how I got involved with the game and the campaign.
That's amazing, and I absolutely agree. A lot of these fields need more representation, not just from female and non-binary voices, but neurodivergent voices as well. I'm a neurodivergent individual myself, and a bit of a story for you. I got offered a sports reporting job, an internship specifically for a company, which I'll keep anonymous out of respect for not getting sued. And the whole time, I had no idea what I was doing covering the game. And half the journalists there looked at me like they were offended by my presence because all I had was a phone to take pictures, because I wasn't really how to sports report. This was a remote position, and then they didn't arrange a Zoom meeting to discuss how to report on the games. They just sent me the written instructions, and it was like, good luck. So that fell through. So I think with certain fields, if there's more training for neurodivergent individuals, female representation, non-binary, LGBTQ representation, we would never have half of the problems we have when it comes to representation professionally ever end. So I deeply admire your passion for representation and voice acting. My last question for you is, if you could voice any character, past or present, who would it be and why?
My answer to this will forever be Hela in the Marvel universe. So Thor's sister in the Thor Ragnarok film, played by Kate Blanchett. She's just my favorite character, and I would love to get to voice her in any capacity.
That's definitely a good one. I love MCU. Anyways, that's going to do it for this interview, guys. Thank you so much to Leonie for coming on and sharing her story. If you guys want to see more amazing interviews with those involved in Get Prepped, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Get Prepped channel. And to learn more about the game, scan the QR code here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next